Once upon a time, in a cozy little neighborhood nestled between two friendly hills, lived a young boy named Hank. Hank was 5 years old and had a heart as big as his imagination. He had a furry buddy, a golden retriever named Blossom, who happened to be his best friend. Together they were inseparable. They played fetch, raced around the yard, and had countless adventures every day. Hank's favorite pastimes were playing dress-up with Blossom and exploring the world around him. But there was one thing that Hank didn't quite understand: Halloween. While most kids eagerly awaited this spooktacular holiday, Hank was afraid of it. The problem wasn't the candy or the costumes. It was something entirely different. Hank felt a strange tingling in his tummy that wasn't excitement every time he thought about Halloween. You see, down the street from Hank's house lived Mr. Andy, a neighbor who had a reputation for turning his house into a Halloween wonderland. Every year, he transformed his front yard into a Halloween fantasy, complete with eerie tombstones, spooky skeletons, smoke, weird noises, glowing pumpkins, and ghastly ghosts that danced in the wind. Hank's parents loved Halloween and often talked about how impressive Mr. Andy's decorations were. But every time they suggested visiting Mr. Andy's house, Hank's heart raced with fear, and he would shake his head, saying, "No, Mama, not this year." On the eve of every Halloween, when the moon was full and the night was as dark as a cave, Mr. Andy's house would come alive with spooky lights, weird smells, mysterious sounds, and eerie sights. People from all over the neighborhood would gather to witness this grand spectacle. Hank couldn't understand how something that scared him so much could bring so much joy to others. But Hank's parents understood his fear and tried their best to help him. One sunny October morning, his mom said to him, "Hank, how about we make a deal this year? What if you visited Mr. Andy's house during the daytime, long before all the decorations come to life? You could see how he sets everything up and understand that it's not real ghosts and goblins, but just decorations. You can actually see all of the cords, speakers, and lights behind the scenes. Then you'll know it's not magic, just hard work and creativity." Hank hesitated, his fingers twisting along the hem of his shirt. Blossom nuzzled him, offering a reassuring wag of her tail. With a deep breath, Hank nodded. He was determined to conquer his fear this Halloween. The next morning, the sun was high in the sky, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves. Hank, his parents, and Blossom knocked on Mr. Andy's door. Hank stood in the back, holding his mom's hand tightly. The door creaked open, revealing not a monster, but Mr. Andy standing in the doorway with a warm smile. He was delighted to have Hank over and was eager to share the secrets of his Halloween magic. "Hey, Hank, I've been waiting for this day. Let's explore the yard together." As they stepped out into Mr. Andy's yard, Hank was amazed by the elaborate setup. Grinning pumpkins, cobweb-covered trees, gravestones made out of styrofoam, and an army of friendly scarecrows greeted him. Hank saw dozens of electrical cords snaking across the grass, and he learned how Mr. Andy programmed the lights to flash and twinkle. He also discovered that the eerie sounds he heard were actually a recording coming from a hidden speaker in the bushes. Mr. Andy explained to Hank and his family how he used strings of lights, hidden speakers, and cleverly placed props to create his Halloween extravaganza. Everything had an explanation, and soon Hank felt his fear fading away. Hank's eyes widened with wonder as he realized that it was all a magnificent illusion. He touched the fake spider webs and tapped the cardboard fencing. "It's not scary at all," he exclaimed, his fears slowly turning into fascination. Over the next few hours, Mr. Andy gave Hank a behind-the-scenes tour. He showed him how to set up the eerie sounds and how to place the skeletons just right. Hank learned that Halloween here was like a grand stage production, or maybe even a movie set, with Mr. Andy as the director, bringing joy to everyone in the neighborhood. By the time they finished the tour, Hank was beaming with newfound confidence. He realized that Halloween wasn't about being scared. It was about creativity, sharing, and enjoying spooky decorations with friends and neighbors. And lots of candy, too. With a newfound confidence, Hank and his family returned home after thanking Mr. Andy for the visit. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the people in the neighborhood began to gather in Mr. Andy's yard. Hank, dressed up as a friendly ghost, with Blossom by his side, felt a thrill of excitement this year, instead of fear. The decorations came to life with a symphony of lights, smells, and sounds. Mr. Andy's decorations glowed with an enchanting light, casting whimsical shadows on the ground. The night was filled with laughter as children and adults alike marveled at Mr. Andy's magnificent Halloween displays. And Hank, he couldn't stop smiling. In the midst of it all, he had learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes what seems scary at first glance is just a product of our imagination. With a little courage and understanding, we can turn our fears into something really magical. As the stars sparkled in the night sky, Hank realized that sometimes the scariest things can become the most exciting adventures. With Blossom's wagging tail as his anchor, Hank knew that he was ready for any Halloween adventure that came his way. Eventually, Hank's family headed back home with a bag filled with candy and 2 sleepy best friends. Hank drifted off to sleep with a smile on his face. He dreamed of next year's Halloween, when he would be old enough to help Mr. Andy set up his decorations. But for now, he was content, knowing that Halloween was not about being scared, but about coming together with friends and family to celebrate the magic of imagination and creativity. And so, on that spooktacular Halloween night, Hank conquered his fear. He made new friends and found the courage to face the unknown, proving that courage and the warmth of friendship can light up even the spookiest nights. It was a night he would treasure forever because it had turned his fear into the greatest adventure of all.